Hey guys, what's up? In this video, I'll approach the concept of MGTOW from a different perspective in an effort to challenge my cherished beliefs regarding the matter. Doing so is a sort of mental exercise that is crucial to perform from time to time for any self-respecting skeptic and philosopher. This video comes from my years of experience switching between MGTOW and PUA, or pickup artist, over and over. So, if I had to put MGTOW in a sentence, I'd say that it's a movement of men who decisively opt out of marriage, mainly because they perceive women to be hypergamous, meaning that women are only interested in a man's ability to provide resources to said women. MGTOW ideology sees women as incapable of truly caring for men, since women are primarily exploiters of men's utility. I won't go into too much detail on this. There's a plethora of videos out there that can explain MGTOW much better than I can. Some of them are my favorites, Sandman and Turd Flinging Monkey. I'm sharing links below in the description box. Anyway, yes, judging from the behavior of most, if not all, women, we can safely say that they are indeed hypergamous. And it takes MGTOW, or maybe PUA ideologies, to point that out. Women tend to be after men's money and resources. They are. It's their nature, just like it's men's nature to go after big breasts and healthy childbearing hips. These are our animal primal instincts, our default tendencies, if you will. Anyway, here's my story. I used to be into MGTOW a lot. A few years back, it helped me see through the bullshit of my last relationship, and it gave me the determination to end it. That breakup was a good thing. She was a typical entitled princess who was after a man with primarily money, and not just money, but also the willingness to spend that money on her. After freeing myself from her demanding grip, I became convinced that MGTOW was the truth, and that MGTOW held the secret to understanding women that few were aware of. In the next 2 years, I was living alone, focusing on myself, being part of the manosphere, going to a pointless date here and there with women who weren't after commitment at the time. When I was living like a MGTOW, I was depressed and felt like there was no meaning to the daily grind of working and coming home to no one with whom to interact. When I was in PUA mode, I was manic and hyper, using my body as a pleasure toy for easy, promiscuous women, which stressed and depressed me in a different way. When I was tired of being a pickup artist, I became a MGTOW monk again, and vice versa. For years, I was complacent in my cherished beliefs of the MGTOW and PUA dogmas. But then I started questioning them because something inside me was telling me that there were holes in those belief systems that no one had really addressed, and that we were all comfortable ignoring. Once I thought that MGTOW could explain all female behavior, and that they wrote the Bible on women. Whatever MGTOW didn't cover, PUAs would fill in. But here is one flaw in the MGTOW behavioral model. Here it is. I never really got a satisfying explanation as to why some women, assuming they're truly hypergamous, choose the deadbeat, abusive, loser asshole and obsess over him for life. You know, the kind of guy who has no dignity in leeching off society for survival, the aging hippie, the druggy, brain-damaged cretin with an undeserved sense of self-worth and accomplishment to rival the most severe God complex cases. There are countless examples out there, and we see them in pop culture too. For example, Bachelor Party with Tom Hanks. That guy was a loser, though not abusive. I realized that even though most women I personally knew did indeed fit into the MGTOW model of hypergamous female behavior, there were many examples of women who were attached, sometimes permanently, to men who were actually hypergamous themselves. These women allowed themselves to be used by such gigolos, to be abused and exploited. They allowed their family relations to deteriorate due to such men, and they obsessed over them, basically messing up their lives for a deadbeat loser male gold digger. One example was quite striking to me. I knew a girl, gorgeous girl, who used to be in an on and off relationship with a really rich guy. He was not a cock beta provider, by the way, who allowed himself to be exploited easily. He was a typical asshole alpha womanizer who managed to convince her that she was the one for him, even though he regularly cheated. But this made her feel special about it. Go figure. Now, because it's a common female fantasy to want to reform a womanizer, that's probably it. Makes them feel special. So anyway, this guy treated her badly for a few years, but she always kept coming back to him. Naturally, everyone assumed that she was just after his money. But then, she meets this deadbeat loser dude who was on welfare and who was addicted to heroin, who was living with his smothering, enabling single mom. I knew this guy. He was weak, he was burned out, average looking, covered with bad tattoos and filthy rasta, always holding a joint and never able to finish a fucking sentence. And this girl ditched the rich guy and became obsessed with the loser whom she took under her wing and supported financially like a baby. And on top of that, he was also abusive to her, and he cheated on her, hurting her again and again. 5 years later, and she still always ends up with him, as far as I know. And she's supposed to be educated, beautiful, and smart. So what happened there? Where does hypergamy fit in this example? I haven't found a MGTOW explanation for this phenomenon. If any of you know of one, please direct me to it. Please leave comments and let's start a discussion. Could we construct a theory that may explain this while staying aligned with MGTOW and PUA theory? Thank you for watching.